you know, I think I've learned some stuff and improved since I last draw Slifer. So other than that, how's everyone's weekend so far? This is upside down. Your storage is. Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. I gotta clear and I'll. Just, oh, you finished because it's like. I'm gonna delete some stuff because yeah, it's freezing. When Procreate doesn't have memory, it'll crash. That's why it crashed on me twice there. That's my bad, guys. Come on. Okay, so the artwork on the bottom is stuff I've done, and this on the right, or on the top, is official stuff by Takahashi. So he kind of outlines his process, and I'm gonna try to walk through it and how you can apply it to your own artwork. It's kind of similar to what I did last time, so here we go. So these were all from Jewel Art, the Yu-Gi-Oh art book by Kazuki Takahashi. You guys can. It was translated in English by Udon Entertainment. I would highly recommend picking that up. But yeah, okay. So now that I think Procreate has calmed the F down. So when you think of an Eastern dragon, you know, what do you think? Long body. It's a noodle, basically, a giant noodle, right? So yeah. So in my last one, I was trying to talk about how you gotta think about your composition, try to avoid any tangents or pinches, kind of thing, and you want your flow of action to lead to where you want your main focus to be. Um, and if if you're kind of new to this, that's okay. We're just kind of going through it. So real basic, real quick. When you lay out composition, you want to think: are you horizontal or vertical? Obviously, and you want to try to fill in as much of that space as possible. So like for this, you want to try to like do that or like this. What you don't want to do is if you have something, you don't want to like awkwardly cut it off. So like say that's like the head of your dragon. You only see the head. That's kind of a huge waste. And look at that. That's like a lot of negative space. And same for this. You don't want it like awkwardly in the corner or things pointing to the corner. So in the application, if I want to lay out a noodle dragon, just a slifer real quick. I'll just make an S shape. S for slifer, and then here's your dumb little wings, here's your head, and then right. So if I put it in this corner, it looks kind of weird, especially his head's touching the edge, so that doesn't look good. You don't want it in a corner because now you've cut off the wings and it doesn't look great. Yeah, but that's not good for a good composition. I mean, like the left's okay because at least the head's in the focus, but you've kind of lost a lot of information, and you got all this negative space on the right, so you don't want to do that. So you want to try to come up with something that will use the whole page. So for example, let's just do like the head and kind of wrap the body around. For things like wings, you don't necessarily have to keep it in there, but you you want your focus to be like the head or something, you know, something like this. That's how I do like kind of I think about the path of the dragon's body. So we think about how we've seen this in action in like official art and other stuff. Like, I'll just do the Shenron first because, yeah. Second. So you got, you know, look from nature. You got a little snake. You got a little snake. Kind of feels. I don't like how the body goes right behind the head because then it pulls the shape out. But you can just do that and then just be like, I am a noodle. You know, or like here. This is from Raya and the Last Dragon. So if you look at the map, so there's a rule of thirds which I covered in the last one. So if we kind of break it down, you have this darkness thing along the edge of the right. You have Raya, or no, sorry, not Raya. What's her name? Sisu. You have Sisu lined up with the left edge. And your focus wants to be on this shiny little ball. So everything kind of, even these lines help draw you in. Even she's pointing at it. The darkness is kind of wrapping around the light kind of thing. And then here we look at Shenron. Shenron's the same deal. It is kind of a centered composition. So if we break down into thirds, kind of the same deal. Like his body just kind of mainly falls along this upper edge and it just kind of comes up, but then so that's like an origin point. So our eye wants to, you know, obviously we see Shenron first, like bam, head, right? But its lower body and like the way it twists is kind of drawing your eye up. So it's like if I follow, like it's very easy to follow his body. I can just make this continuous line without like stopping or questioning where the rest of the body is. This other one for Shenron is the same thing. It's still a centered kind of composition, but they tried to balance it out. So you notice how his body doesn't awkwardly fall down here or here or here or here. It's kind of within this like main cross area. And again, if we follow, because you know his head's supposed to be the focus, like everything's centered. If we follow his body just from the tail or even to from the head, but you're gonna see it looks like I can clearly draw how its body's like looping around kind of deal. This new one, this is I think this is Ocean King Orumagand. You can like you can take me for that. So this is different because it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. So they have a square canvas. So then I have to think about how to fill that canvas without awkwardly cropping. But usually for key or big cards, they have a full artwork. So if I were to extend this artwork, it would actually, its body would most likely, let's see, so here's the head, body, most likely it would be something like this. So I can kind of guess how the form is. It's not awkwardly cut off like, oh, I think its body's broken or something. Like it's oh, okay, I understand like how they tried to lay this out. And then let me erase that for a bit. And so this comes to the coloring stage, but they try to draw your attention to the head. Like everything about this body, like this light belly. Hold on, my dog. Come here. Come here. Dog was me, no. Okay. So everything about the coloring and the composition tries to draw you towards the head. So this bright light behind the head, contrasting with the head itself, and then its light underbelly, kind of drawing your eye up to the head. And all these clouds are the same thing. They all try to point. My dog is like, there's a thing. Yeah, that's kind of like if you look no, you're totally cool. TMG, it's cool. I was just kind of going over composition and yeah, this one will be archived on Twitch, and I'll crop out the kind of lesson part to go on YouTube. But that's breaking down you know how to compose your noodle and kind of the line of action, how to draw everything to a central focal point. If you guys have other cool noodle dragons you want me to highlight, just let me know and I'll pull up the reference. But that's the ones I could find, was like Shenron and then this new Orumgando. Okay, you can punch me for like horrible pronunciation. The next examples I want to pull are from Takahashi himself. So, you know, this is the art god of Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically. So he breaks it down. These are called the roughs. So he sketches out a couple of poses trying to think of what would work. So he'll just to go over our idea. Like, it's very clearly defined. Here's the head. He wants to focus beyond the head. So the body goes like that, and then the wings are doing like that. But you notice the tip of the wings are kind of pointing this way, and everything about like this line of action wants you to like your eye to follow towards the head, because that's where he wants you to follow. Ice barrier, what's that one? What's the one? Not Trishula, because that's a three-headed one, so I wouldn't recommend that. What's the other one? Brionic? Yeah, I'll pull up Brionic. Brionic is a good one. See if I can find a nicer picture for it. Oh, it's covered under the, hold on. So here's another card art, Brionic. I know this one has extended art, so if I were to, if I were to like extend this art, it'd be something like this. But it's very much composed with like this kind of square canvas in mind. And again, you're seeing like this head is a white, so it's a bright contrast compared to its body. But the body goes, and I can clearly kind of tell, it goes like that. And you have the wings, which kind of, so everything is trying to draw your attention towards this head. Even the wings are kind of like, they're kind of framing the head and like main body. They kind of repeat this curve too. So you notice this curve is being kind of repeated. Because it wouldn't look as good if you did like, you know, just we'll do a really bad Brionic. There, right? It wouldn't look very good if he was like this, but then his wings did like, or like just if they were like straight parallel, it wouldn't look as good, right? So that's why they have it like curved. You kind of curve and frame the body. So that's, you know, always think about the wings and other elements in your painting and composition that'll help highlight and emphasize your monster's features or what you want to focus on. So here, let's go back to the Takahashi example. So yeah, the first stage he does, he's just kind of thinking of like cool poses, and I think he was trying to hash out the head, like how he wanted, what angle to have the head at. Like if it's straight sideways, if you do straight sideways, then you're kind of restricting yourself from, I feel like if you do a straight sideways pose, then you're kind of restricting yourself to more of a horizontal canvas. But if you do it at more of an angle, then you're kind of more free to like do, you know, horizontal or vertical or even a square, because then your eye doesn't want to just go one direction like straight across. This other pose he came up with is at that angle, but I think what happened, it was too similar to the original artwork, the one that you see, but I can still tell like his body is like that. And personally, I didn't like how the wings kind of flatten out like this. Like I would have done it like the wings to curve in. So that makes sense. Here, we'll just if I were to redraw this Takahashi piece. So he eventually settled on like this kind of general sketch, this one you see here. But if I were to redo this one, it would be like, you know, it would be similar. The head's great. I like the body. The body's kind of twisted up here though. I would have actually like maybe I would actually maybe do something like this, and then the wings would come in. And that's how I try to fix that. But he didn't settle with that. He went with this composition, which you can see like the head. Head is the center focus, so if I did that like grid thing again, he wants everything to come into the center with its heads, and then like the body, and then the wings try to frame the head. But he eventually moved on, and he kind of, let me like, yeah, he eventually like tried to tighten this up. So you see the head is more of an angle. It's trying to point down. But you can also see these little sketch marks. He's thinking about, because card art is a square, not a rectangle. So he's thinking about when they have to eventually crop this, how is it going to look? So that's why he has very light sketch that's a square. And you can see it more emphasized here. It's funny because I don't think he did the tail like that, did he? Oh no, he did, I guess. But yeah, you can even tell he was struggling with how to do the wings, because he's got these like light sketches like, oh, should I point the wings like down or should I have them fully out? Which I think he ended up doing it out, right? Or it's okay. Yeah, he ended up doing it out. But yeah, even he's thinking about this kind of thing. He's avoiding this attack could go to the corner, but it shouldn't, because you want to avoid that, because then your eye wants to go to a corner. So he has it slightly off like that. So yeah, that's how he breaks. He came up with that pose, I think, for breaking it down and analyzing it. Eventually, it became, after the painting process, it became this. Which I feel like he paints very dark, but it's okay. So yeah, if I were to break down this, it'd be like the head, which he actually does try to highlight, because you notice in this painting it's the lightest, or like it has the most contrast, because the neck and body is very dark. So yeah, he has the head as the main focus, and then this electricity beam helps to draw like focus towards it, because the beam is coming out of Slifer, but it's like highlighting its face. And if I were to follow the body, let's see if I understand how he did this. The body goes. It goes like this. So even this is a little confused. Or no, wait. Oh wait, no, wait. I think, hold on. So this is the other thing with Noodle Dragons. You gotta be careful about how you lay out the body and shade it, because otherwise it'll be hard to follow how the body is twisting. So let me think about this. How did you do this? So we got this going down, then looks like maybe this next, then this, and then it goes back up, behind, and then tail. So yeah. This art is cool, but I feel like it's very tight, so it's a little hard to follow. So you want to try to avoid that. If you're gonna paint the body, make it very clear, like what part is more in front, what part is more in back. So you can do that either with your line work or when you paint. The stuff further in the back is faded out more than the front. So yeah, that's that. But I don't want to like. I think it's okay, but it's like hard. Like, oh, you can see it in this. So like the head is the most saturated and the one in focus, and it goes like this. But if you notice, so the way he colored it, so we'll just do a paint sample. So the red in the front. Oops. Okay, the red in the front is like this. But the further back we go, the less like bright and less saturated it is. Oops. This is not very good. Yeah. So it's all the same red, but it it varies in like saturation and intensity based on if it's closer or further away from you. So this is when this is a really good example of like how to use your coloring to try to separate your foreground from the background. And with noodle dragons, you got that issue because they got long bodies or whatever, right? Here's another one by Takahashi. So this one, I don't think he could really follow that rule because this was from one of his manga pages, and he's just using straight up like Copic, so it's like the one red. But he tried to like with the shading. He tried to with the shading to try to at least like block this out in a way and have you focus over here on Slifer with the wings and the highlights, bringing that over. Again, like our line of action is gonna be like this. And here we have a rough sketch he did, which he has Yami as the main focus, so that's that's the character here. I think he was debating on how to do the leg. Like he had one leg here and he had the leg over there too. So we'll just compromise there. Forearm in the focus. Where's his arm going? Here. So that's your front character. Whoops. You're right. You know what? Just do the silhouette, trying to understand how he was trying to break this down. He didn't end up making this though. This is just in the sketch stage, but it's kind of interesting to study like how they think and how they compose. And then Slifer in the back, he wanted the head like this. Then if I understand it, the body was supposed to go... Oh Jesus, how did he want that body? It's kind of hard to understand because it's a very, very rough sketch. But let's see, I think he was trying to do like something like this maybe? Yeah. He probably abandoned this because it's too tight. Like he tried to make it into a circle, but that's way too tight in my opinion. But yeah, just thinking about his thought process. And then this is another sketch he did. I'm not sure what it was for, but you see like woo, woo, woo. So in this case, you kind of have a repeating pattern with the loops and repetition with the curves, which is fine, but it's kind of boring if you repeat it too much. But yeah, that's just kind of breaking down how he's done it. And then, if you guys have any questions so far, feel free to ask. And then I'll break down. So these are slivers I've drawn in the past, and then that right one is Jump Force. You can ignore that. I'm just using that as a reference. The earliest one is probably this one. I think it's from maybe 2015 or so. When I was doing this one, I wanted the head to be a focus, obviously. So you got the head, and then everything like was trying to draw your eye towards the head and this energy beam. And then so I had like these little, like I added like artistic liberty, these little side vents that kind of glow and go up, and then the body itself. I was trying to keep. It's really dark. Yeah, that's how I was trying to like break this down. Arms and legs you can kind of worry about a little bit later. The main thing you want to do is the body and how like it draws your eyes and how the wings can frame its head. Sometimes you have Eastern dragons that don't have wings, and you don't really necessarily have to think about that, but you still want it. So if you want the head to be the main focus, everything you do should try to help draw your eye towards the head. So this is a newer one I did in 2017. Again, here's the head. I was trying to draw body going up and then the wings to frame the head. So there's a sharp contrast like here between the wings and then the lightning, so that your eye wants to be drawn towards it. If I were to do this again, honestly, I would have probably brought the head up more, just so the neck wouldn't be so like close to the head, or maybe I could have pushed the contrast like on this edge so the head's more highlighted. But yeah, I probably would have Let's see if I were to redo this. Let's see. Not redo, but like if I were to improve on this. I would have probably brought the head out. Maybe like up here. Oof, I know that's confusing. We'll just do this real quick. Yeah, we'll just. But something like that. I would pull the head up so it's more like free from the body, so it's not all scrunched. Because if you look at the card art, let's see. There's a few card art that was pretty interesting, but let's see. I want this one, but it's not. I want this one, but I want the full art. Let's see if we can be good about it. Nope. But anyway, so I want like a better resolution. It's just so hard to find good resolution. Freaking Pinterest is the bane of my existence. Oh, this one's fan art, but I think it's very cool. We got high contrast on its body, and like clear contrast between the red and kind of like the green-blue background. So that's fan art, but it's really cool fan art. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Oh, here's not full size. So here, let me finish analyzing these real quick. So this is a newer one, but I feel like I was a little rushed in this. I don't like it too much, but again, same thing, you know. Head is main focus. Everything about the body tries to draws you towards it. The wings are a kind of downward position, whereas if I were to do this again, I probably would have tried to do like upward wings to kind of frame it again. But yeah, and you can ignore the T-posing slifer. This is just from Jump Force, which I think was very funny. Actually, no, let's look up. Hold on. Because based on how they do this, let's see. Yeah, so this is dope. This is CG, so I'm not gonna like. So yeah, you know, always pull up references. Don't be afraid to not use references. Someone extended the art, but I don't think its wings are supposed to look like that. Yeah, so here's a classic one, but yeah, I'll just, or maybe wait, did someone like try to extend the art? I think someone tried to extend the art or something, but let's see, oops. So yeah, in Yu-Gi-Oh, especially for like key cards or like really cool cards, they'll always have a full-size art that looks like this. So they can use it across different merchandise and stuff. But the card is always like this square cropped. Let's see, let's merge these now. So this one is kind of weird because these clouds like obscure slifer, which I'm not a big fan of. But if we do that basic roll, and then this, okay, so the problem with I have this artwork is the head looks way too close to the arms, because you can't tell that it's like it's supposed to be really foreshortened, but it's like really hard to tell. So I would have tried to pull at least this upper body back, so at least its arms were maybe down here. Because as it looks right now, like you guys can see it too, right? It looks like his head. If I were to draw this from the side, it kind of looks like Cypher's like this, and then like his arms are way up here. Which, I mean, some dragons can be like that, but that's not Slifer. little arms are like way too close to his head, which bothers me. Because you can see from the previous artwork, like you've got a pretty good space between its head and its arms, and this it was foreshortened to a point where it just looks so awkward. But the rest of the composition I think is fine. Yeah, I would have probably pulled the head up more. Try to give it more breathing room. And you still have this lightning that kind of draw your attention towards the head. But if I were to draw out the body, then yeah, it would be like... Those clouds are kind of annoying because I don't understand what's going on. But yeah, that's the body composition. And the wings help to frame the head again. Again, I would have moved the head up, or just kind of put more room, because look, it's so squished. It's like I can't tell what's going on with its arms. But yeah, so that's just kind of breaking down references and stuff. And then here we have another one. This is Jump Force. So this is CG, so I wouldn't recommend this for like painting references, because if you look, like his back body is kind of the exact same saturation and color as the front, so it's a little hard to push and pull. But if I were to try to separate this kind of better, here, I'll show you guys the difference. So if I were to just, oops, wait, come on, come on. If I were to try to improve this render, so this is more like coloring. The composition's fine. But yeah, if I were to try to pull this out, there's a pretty good contrast between its face and the wing right now, but let's see if I can. And then the body's a little confusing right now, I think. But you can tell just by even doing that now it's very clear where the front of the body is versus the rest of it. So that's kind of the importance of to keep in mind when you're coloring. Slifer kind of does this too, or like this background, this body like background is slightly lighter than the front, but it's not as pushed and as say this one by Takahashi, which I think was really well done. Its face is ugly though. But yeah, so that's kind of basic Noodle Dragon layout and kind of rules and stuff. And I'm gonna try to do. Let's kind of try to do a demo by doing this month's like Patreon reward. But we can practice with like different layouts and stuff on. So I can move this stuff. Just to pull my references out, and then so for playmats we have a horizontal layout. So I'll start by doing some thumbnails. I was actually thinking of doing like Egyptian. So like, you know, when Autumn summons Slifer and he's racing through Egypt, that would have been pretty cool. But that's a lot complicated. So I'll just start with just kind of basic sketches for Slifer. So it's like, if we think about in the manga, we had Autumn, and like his horse. Ignore horse. Ignore horse. Autumn with his arm out and his cape. Could be running out from the buildings. So I'm going to ignore the frame for now, but I'm keeping in mind a horizontal layout. So if I were to do, let's see. I don't want to repeat that. Let's see, how about do like here, then the body, I would try to draw like maybe like this. I don't want to pinch there though. So you want to just kind of think about your basic layout and try to like draw out the body more. Maybe I don't want it looping back like that. Maybe this really rough layout. Can I go back in? Check my reference real quick because it has been a while. I'll just leave that on. So I'm kind of thinking 3/4 angle. If its head's huge, that's fine. You can always like shrink it down later. So this, let's see, because I was thinking of the body being like this, but maybe coming out over the building. So yeah, I'm just trying to lay out how the body will fit. Have him go over the building like that. And then we just have Atem on his horse in the front. Angry Danger Noodle. They're always angry. So maybe something like this. Just kind of a rough idea for the first one. Like when the wings out, and then I would crop it. Oops. Maybe like something like this, though I don't want Autumn like in the bottom. I'm trying to think about the roll third so we can put him right about there. That's kind of a rough layout for one of them. And then another example we could try to sketch out, say we have a vertical orientation. And if you guys remember the scene when like Slifer kind of, or it was the Orichalcos art and like all the monsters were summoned. You have it where like Slifer just shows them, so it's like, hey, to that guy in the freaking window. So if I think about it, let's try doing a building. Let's do Neo Domino. There you go. The Neo Domino building, something like this maybe. The other city ones. So that's kind of our. If it was a vertical orientation, it'd be something like that. You can always adjust this, no worries. And then, let's see, you can have Slifer's head there, and then like his body could be like that. His wings like. Oops. it's just like grabbing the building. Or did I want his... I guess I could twist the body then. Let me go like this maybe? So yeah, these are just rough layout ideas. So you never really just go from like... So that's kind of two orientations. You guys have suggestions for another like cool slifer scene? Because those are the two I could think of, like Egypt and that. You could also have, if you had a... kind of centered composition. Again, we're going horizontal just because we'll do our lines like that. Let's see. Take an example from that Shenron earlier. This one where the body's like kind of centered between, but it's like a wrapping noodle. It's kind of an infinity shape actually. We could take that as inspiration. But one where he's like ascending. I know this is super ugly, but like... Let's see, do like that. But like the difference between Shenron and Slifer has wings. So you gotta like kind of factor that in. And he's got tiny arms and legs. So like for the Patreon reward, I do want to keep it a horizontal orientation. I was just kind of doing an example of how to lay out a vertical orientation with this. So yeah, just kind of everything going up and drawing your attention towards the body. Like the wings will kind of do that. But there's something, let's try. It's really rough, but maybe I'll do the building slifer in the future, like just for fun. Kind of running parallel. I want to try to avoid hitting his arm, so I'm trying to like do that, and then the rest of the body can be like in the background. That's another like horizontal layout. So we could try to expand on that Egyptian idea. Because yeah, I did want to try to, because it's my last time was preset with the blue eyes. I guess it would make sense to have Slifer with Pharaoh Atem. So this was an idea. The horse I kind of want to keep like that, or you could do centered composition. So again, our grid lines. But we're keeping Autumn's head in the middle. I guess it's too big.
Long ago, when the pyramids were still young, Egyptian kings played a game of great and
Here, let's think about this. You could have Autumn in the middle with his spiky hair, and the horse. Or just because he has the freaking that weird ass dual disc, you'd be like summing forward. He's not really holding the reins anymore, is he? So you have Autumn kind of, you can have him centered or you can have him along this line. But here, I'll show you guys both because I think that's an interesting, like, how the composition will change. So if we have him centered, then we kind of want Slifer to be centered. So it'll just, you'll kind of just have your focus just be along the center of the composition. I'm gonna make him smaller. Here, I'll duplicate this because I want to save that for later. Make him smaller, especially for scale. So yeah, that's good size. I guess tiny Autumn. There's gonna be a little cropped out there. Let's see, how do I want his body to work? Well, we definitely want. I know we want wings to be like framing, but I guess there's no choice. We gotta go like. Go like this. Ooh, now its head's too close to the thing. Let me like. Oh, that was not cropped. That was a line. Yeah. Oh my god, I did it again. I didn't want to draw. I wanted to select. There we go. Are you better separate? It might be okay if we just kind of change the layout to be more like. This. You have Autumn running through like the buildings. Here, I'll just separate that. It's gonna be like background. Well, I guess if we're doing this, and here we'll have the horizon line here, and then try to draw the buildings towards that cipher in the background. Autumn get muscles. To something like this. Though I think its upper head's kind of cropped out. Here, if I was trying to fit this more, something like that. So that's one way. That's one composition we could do. Hold on, I needed. And then the reason why I kept Autumn separate was because if we wanted, whoopsies, upside down. We wanted to change it up so it's not just, so still doing the rectangle, still doing that kind of layout thing. I don't normally do this layout grid, but it's just, I think for you guys it might be good to see. So we're gonna try to put Autumn on one side of it, maybe like here, and then that means this other half has to be kind of filled with slifer. So, let's see. I'll have it like more close up. Yeah, so I always start with the head, just trying to see how I want the head to lay out. And then I think about the body, which might be a little backwards, but so let's see, how do I want, because he's gonna try to come out from behind him, so we can kind of do like that. I'm still like defaulting to trying to like, I still want to default to like head and then like woo noodle, you know, like, you know what I mean? Let's see if we can think of something like that. So yeah, just changing like your scale of the little figure and then how it aligns with the grid is it's just kind of, you know, you can always play around. You don't have to like draw one thing and be like, yeah, good enough. Like you can always think about how you want it to look out in the end. I think what other kind of compositions can we kind of mess around with? We could do one where it's horizontal but it's from the side. It's a little harder to do that way, but I think in the manga, I tend not to try to do too many horizontals because then your eyes are kind of always drawn like in one direction. But if you have all your elements kind of repeating it or emphasizing it, then I think it's okay. So like, for example, let's just do, because if I'm not mistaken in the manga, Autumn summoned Slifer and then they were running like, because it's manga, so you read right to left. So you're kind of, everything should be this way. So let's see if we can have, you guys are getting kind of a horse lesson here too. So we'll have Autumn. You know what? Okay. Autumn and his horse. So to draw horses, you gotta learn. There's no real way around it. You gotta like practice. Hold on, let me like separate this. Because I mean, I could do a whole lesson about just how to draw horses, but I really don't want to. One Direction. That was pretty good. Let's see, let's have it down here, but Autumn with he's awkwardly sitting on this horse. His horses are hard to draw, man. You know, I probably did that wrong. Hold on. I think that looks better. So that's our horse. Here, let me do blue for slifer, purple for Autumn, and green for background elements. We can have this, and then Maybe. So you can just see. Okay, if I were to separate that out, if I did slifer like this, then your eye kind of like it goes this way, but it pauses a little as it makes this turn. Or so I did more flat curve, then it's like whoosh. There's more action. So I think that's what I was thinking right there. You don't really see his wings, so we gotta move. Maybe the scale, maybe Autumn has to be smaller. Or we could put him. So actually, yeah, you just saw it. Like, it's a different feel if I move it back here versus up here. So you know, I think it might be better. I think it might be better here, and then we move slifer up. Okay, let me erase the weird speed noodles. Alright. If we move them up more, then it gives a sense of like kind of slifer outran Autumn in a sense. Why is it so tiny here? Something like this, more to break up the composition, I think. So it's not like you have too much going on with. Yeah, so this is ooh, I don't want to get too close to the edge. So yeah, this is more like if you want to do a horizontal composition, I think, with them running sideways. Oh yeah, that was fun with Lugia. Do you guys want me to do like a Pokemon series after this, or I know I'm kind of famous for like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but I like Pokemon too. I like drawing Pokemon, but you guys have any more like composition suggestions or ideas? Because I was just kind of sketching these out as a demonstration, and I was gonna pick one to kind of clean up and finalize. We could do like you know, I really like Rayquaza. Rayquaza's also Noodle Dragon, so we could do that one. We did like here's Cynthia. I like Cynthia. She's cool. Yeah, really dumb Cynthia. I doing this from memory. I think she has like a coat. And she could be like Yu-Gi-Oh post summoning Rayquaza. Rayquaza is a shorter Noodle Dragon, but he's still a Noodle Dragon, so he will just. Oops, no, that's not the head. So it might be easier if you guys want to practice this to practice with a Pokemon, because they're Pokemon are generally easier to draw. Oh, this neck's like hella long. Hold on. Maybe like this? That's kind of awkward. Anyways, well that's, you know, Rayquaza. Little arms, your little arms. Just like gonna put this up, and then people will vote for Rayquaza and be like, yeah. I'm trying to think what else would be cool. Like, I think we do want to go with Slifer and Autumn in Egypt, but like, in what kind of? Lumpy horse. Here, actually, let's see. These four are a good start here. So let me. What do I want to do? I'm gonna. Let's see. Dang it! Did it again. We're ignoring these three because these are vertical, and that's just Slifer, which is cool, but it's not what we want. I'm kind of not feeling this last one, to be honest. So let's see if we can think of something better. This last one, I'm not really feeling it, just because you don't really see Slifer's body. It's just like its head. It's a giant thing. This one, its head's kind of awkward. So yeah, when you're doing these, don't be afraid to like, don't lock yourself in. Don't be afraid to like tweak it. Cause yeah, even see like just even rotating the head kind of made me feel better. Let's try to think of another horizontal. Here we can just have. You can have like action lines to emphasize. What do you guys think? What would be a cool? You could have. Shoot, did he summon Slifer like in the temple versus? No, he summoned Obelisk. I was trying to think, what did he do when the Dio-bound guy first showed up? So D wheels on or card games on Slifer, card games on Slifer's head. But he's never done that though, has he? He never even did that with Raw. I guess we could do Raw next time. No, I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, what was the Yeah, but that's Cursor Dragon. That's not. Oh, hold on. What was the opening called? It was whoa, that's cool. Okay, freaking Zero-chan is the other bane of my existence because we can't even freaking understand when. Let's see, hold on. What was it called? Shuffle? I think it was called Shuffle. No, it was. Cloud? Okay. Oh, here you go, voice. Yeah, there you go. Ah, freaking ads. He never actually did that, though. That's the thing. Skip. 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 Like, skip. Holy crap. Look at the dub. He's like, Yugiohs! Yeah, but Kaiba never wrote a like this never happened. Like this never happened. Here, wait, I'm gonna like. I guess. Shit. Well, I gotta like. But that like never happened. Curse of Dragon is kind of a Noodle Dragon, right? He's kind of short though. It's true, they did animate it. I do kind of like how Curse of Dragon is in this one, because you can see, like, head down, wings down, body down. You could try that, I guess. It's a little weird. Nah, plus the scale, though. Like, Auto would be... Okay, so, like, if I drew it to scale, like... Not on the writing slifer, he'd be like this big. Like, it's not... It's a little weird. Be a little weird. Like, he's a little small. He's a little tiny on his head. Jeez, is he even written on side? Here, wait, no, wait. No, it's not him. There we go, hold on. That's a good one. That's a good one to say. No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's just... Shoot, did he ever merge with Ra? I can't even remember. Did he ever merge with Ra? I can't even remember. I know he didn't merge with Slifer. I feel like you have to be a villain to merge with your Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Because, I mean, look at Darts, look at Paradox, look at Ra. There's an action duel. Action duel Slifer. If Slifer was scaled down. Shoot, you can't even... The things on the side are too, like, short. Because I know... Okay, so if I were to do Pendulum Dragon... It's got those giant horns on the side. So, like... So Yuya, like... somehow stands here. Such really badly drawn. And then he, like, holds on the horns. But, shoot. I want to think of one more horizontal composition, guys. I do like the Egypt theme idea, but I don't know why. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this one for some reason. Maybe if I made, like, hold on, let me... I did it again. If I did, let's see. Erase the horse. Erase the horse. But he never really stood on his neck. Do like that. But then where's Autumn? Oh, I got it. The Battle City Tower. Oh shit, I don't even know what that thing looks like. Hold on. What was the stupid tower called? Okay, hold on. They were in a freaking college. No, is this okay? It's these stupid little projectors I'm thinking of. But like, shoot, you're right. They were in a. I don't want to draw that. There, I was like, I want to draw Coliseum. Okay, fine. Well, let me think. God, that's dope. That's annoying. Kind of why. Yeah, but when they're actually like drilling, it's not. Here, wait. Okay, hold on. A big pile of references. We'll just shove that here. Oh Christ, I can't see anything. So if I actually did that, then that'd be kind of cool to have. If we had the Colosseum. This whole composition needs to be like smaller though. Hold on, these lines are these lines are confusing. Let me shoot. These lines are confusing. So let me try to do that. There we go. And we'll try to lay out based on Battle City. This is gonna pain my ass to draw all these little windows. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah, Yugi's knights are getting new support, which is pretty cool. We'll worry about Autumn later. This isn't a how to draw Autumn video. There you go. Oh man. Eh. Trying to offset them or bring them up a little bit. There you go. And now we can keep that, but Autumn needs to get smaller or needs to go away. Maybe we can move it like, yeah, there we go. And then that makes, see, actually pushes slifer slightly left. That's there we go. Slifer's other arm's gonna get obscured, but that's okay. little squished. Okay, there's 4 compositions, I think, and then I'm trying to clean this one up. This and then we'll refine that in a bit. Here, I'm gonna take a. Let's see. Alright, guys, vote on which one you guys like the most. I'm gonna put it on Twitter too. Or I guess maybe I should. No, you guys can tell what that is. You guys can tell what's going on. Hold on, see, do I have a bot? I can add. Can I add a poll? It was. Shoot, where is it? Streambot, maybe? Or. What is my freaking little bot's name? Streamlabs, maybe that's what it is. No, that's not it. Damn it. Hold on. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of which program had the little bot so you can vote. So, okay, let me post to Twitter. I think I can run a poll. Let's see. Oh, I can't do a photo? Shit. What did I miss? Oh. -3. No, I'm trying to, there's a bot that you can run a poll in here. I think it is. Shoot. Is it Nightbot? Oh, okay, wait, what do I have as a. I don't remember what my bot name is. Oh wait, it's under my extensions. Hold on, let me see. You know, I'm an idiot. Well, I posted on Twitter, but yeah, which one do you guys like? A, B, C, or D? I'm trying to think. How do you freaking? Where's the thing? Dude, it like cleared my chat. Is it Nightbot? It is. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, commands. Here we go. No, shoot. I thought we could make a poll. I just tripping? Am I thinking Discord? Oh no, here we go. I can start a poll. Okay, how do I start a poll? It's in Spanish. Why is it in Spanish? Okay, here we go. Dashboard. On your first poll, click on my dashboard. I am on my dashboard. Oh, there it is. Hold on. There's a, I think there's a poll. Did that work? I don't know. Wait, how do you... You guys see a poll or am I like tripping? Here. What happens when you guys click on that? Okay, let's see. Creating a poll. Let's see. Color grid setting. Start poll buttons. Wait. Hold on. I think I started, right? Yeah, and then... Are you guys able to vote on it? Oh, wait, hold on, let me see. Yeah, I'll leave it up for a little bit. I gotta take a potty break. Sorry, be right back, guys. I'm back. So we only have one. Do we only have one vote, or am I? we got. Because I'm looking at Twitter because I ran this on Twitter too. We got C and D have votes. Wait, who voted and how did you vote? Like, I've never done a poll before, so yeah, sorry guys, I don't know how it's. I don't think I set it so you need bits or anything. Well, we got 2 votes for C, 1 for D. A or C. Yeah, I think you guys are right, because if it's more centered, then it's better as a playmat. Plus it goes with the Egyptian theme. Like, A would be good, I think, as just, like a fan art, but, I think as a playmat, C is probably the better option here. Yeah, so I think that was the other point. Yeah, so then that's the other thing. You gotta think about what your end product or composite thing is for. So if it's a mat, then generally you want to go with a centered composition or something that follows along the left point. Yeah. All right. Here, we'll just stop. You can see one. I've never used the polls, but that was interesting. Let me. All right, so let me like screenshot these just to save it, and don't need that. I will keep that, but I want to keep. Let's see, I need to keep. I'm gonna use a Jump Force model as my reference, just because I think it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. And then here we're going with C. Oops. So the rest of this will be just kind of me trying to draw this out. If you guys have more questions about composition or whatever, feel free to drop them. I'll respond and stuff. Feel free to comment on Twitter too. Let's see if you want to do. I also need a pull. See if I can find it. It's from Assassin's Creed. Let's see, where is it? Well, I mean, yeah, but there were tweets and comments too, so. I can find. Here's our horse reference. Actual horse. And let's see what reference. So yeah, this manga is pretty dope. But shoot, I needed I pulled these artwork from Assassin's Creed Origins because it was so cool, and I think it was a really good reference. But I gotta find it. You know what? Might be faster if I just went into Drive. Let's see. So yeah, I pulled these out of Assassin's Creed Origin. I'm not gonna worry about day or night right now, but because we're centered composition, let's do. So yeah, this is a really amazing game. That's a good one, actually. It's also, let's see. Okay, we pulled references from Assassin's Creed Origins. Where'd it go? We're gonna be my references for the building and stuff, but we can worry about that a little later, I guess. And okay, now we gotta clean up the sketch. I gotta pull up the horse reference, actually. I don't know what the horse looks like. Oh shoot, where'd... Oh man. Hold on, I lost the horse reference layer. Ah! Where'd the horse reference layer go? There it goes. God, what did that display here? He's looking a pretty good one. Here, let's do... use this as reference. Let's see if we can give it some jewelry. Oh wait, no. Actually, let's look this up. Hold on. What did the horse looks like for ancient Egypt? Oh, they got fancy little headdresses. I don't want to do that. Oh, that'd be cool if Aten was on a chariot. Why am I making this harder for myself? Chariot. Oh god. I don't think we have time for chariot. But that would be interesting. I don't think anyone's really drawn him as like an actual pharaoh with the chariot thing going on. Like a chariot. I think it's kind of awkward on it and all though. I'm sketching it on another layer, so I'm gonna adjust it in a bit. So no, he's not to scale, but this is just so get the layout correct. Some seems huge to me for some reason. Here, I'm gonna move him to the side because, yeah, he's not proportionate right now, but that's fine because we can adjust that later. Okay, put his bling on there. Okay, so you do like. Maybe like block out the horse. Except right now, Autumn is kind of confusing me, so here we go. Does that look okay scale-wise, or you know what? Let me adjust the. I think the horse's head's like too big. Oops. Hold on. Ah, horse. Horse. Ah, it's got a short neck. Hold on. That looks slightly better. Pudgy horse. I'm not very good at horses, so yeah, there's that. Again, Autumn shouldn't be like, yeah, he should be like kind of standing up on it. There's probably like the stirrup and stuff. Horse is hard. Why is the head bothering? I guess the head's not supposed to be that big, huh? So yeah, this is always a process. You don't have to settle for one thing. You can always adjust and tweak. There, I think that looks better. Or does it? Hold on. No, because if I look at this, the horse's head is huge compared to. Maybe Autumn's too big. Yeah, so this is like where I struggle. I don't draw horses very often because of obvious. But I want him kind of to the side, so like. Just make this bigger. Alright, that's good for the horse, and then let's try to clean up this sketch for Slifer. Let me check the reference though, because honestly, it's been a while. I guess the pose is kind of similar to the jump thing, which is not what I wanted. And now the head's hitting the top. Ah! No, because slifer is going over the building, so we don't even need to show most of the buildings, really. I do want to try to separate its face from...